What is up, Poulsbo? It's a really long drive. You're all true Washingtonians. You know, we're all out here. It's raining. It's below 50. We're outside. I can see my breath right now. Give it up for James, our host. Yeah. He put this whole thing together. You know, I think James kind of looks like if Harry Potter was never let out of that closet bedroom. And Bruce, how about give it up for Bruce again? Great. I think Bruce looks like if Gollum thought he was a superhero. Yeah. So who's drinking tonight? You see a few drinks. Yeah, fun stuff, huh? I'm sober tonight. I did drive, but I have been sober for a long time. It's been, thank you. 37 years now, sober. Yeah. I realize that's an awkward way to tell you my age. Yeah, no alcohol for me. So, I mean, who am I kidding? I look like an off-duty Mormon missionary up here. Got the part going on and everything. I had a buddy that was in the 12-step program, and he told me that sober is actually an acronym. It stands for SOB, everything's real. Yeah. So, you know, when you're sober, you're just living life raw. You got your vice out there, and I'm just doing it raw over here. No alcohol. So, you know, you're maybe messed up on the outside, but I'm messed up on the inside, you know? Just taking life one day at a time over here. So I realize I look like I probably still wear my high school varsity jacket to job interviews. Yeah, still looking for that job. Actually, I probably look like my chin belongs in the game of Clue as a murder weapon. Yeah. I believe it's Colonel Mustard in the conservatory with Matt's face. Yeah. Jay Leno is my spirit animal. So there's that. So I actually used to be normal, if you can believe that. This was back before I studied engineering in college. Yeah. I got infected over there, though, with Asperger's. Yeah. All those engineers running around, it was bound to happen at some point. Now my wife's she's got to warn me when my autism is flaring up. So that's not good. I think that Asperger's is a lot like herpes. Once you've caught it, you are stuck with it for the rest of your life. Yeah, you got all these unexpected flare-ups you got to deal with. It's no good. I had a flare-up the other day. Not with the herpes, with the Asperger's. So, yeah, so a while back, you know, when I was first married, my wife was telling me, you know, hey, you're really artistic. I was like, wow, that's really sweet, you know. She knows I play the guitar. And she's like, no, I said autistic. Like, wow, I'm offended now. That's offensive. And I was like, well, you know, why don't you prove it? She's like, well, here's one thing. You'd rather than spending time with friends and family, you want to spend time building your biome on Minecraft. Oh. Yeah, okay, that's one thing. You know, once is an occurrence, twice is a coincidence, 3 times a trend, okay? So what else do you got? She's like, okay, I've got plenty more. Okay. How about the fact that the only reason you want to boot up your desktop is to beat your best time on Minesweeper? Yeah. How about the fact that you actually know how to beat the game Minesweeper? Yeah, that is a sign of autism. Okay, that's 2, I guess. 2.5. How about the fact that you know the number pi past its second decimal place? Yeah. Or that you know that the celebrating True Pi Day is on the 27th second or the 9th minute of the 15th hour of March 14th every single year? Yeah. Pi Day. Math. I realized a while ago that math is a better friend than humans are. Yeah, it's reliable. And maybe you're like, well, there's all these variables and stuff, you know. Some of the numbers are irrational or even radical. but they're more constant than humans. So there's that. That also might be a sign of autism. I don't know. I'm not sure. She's like, well, what about the fact that you know all 150 original Pokemon and what they evolved to? Okay. I don't even like Pokemon. Just my brother was into it, and I just started memorizing them. So we can talk about it later. I don't have any cards. I'm not gonna trade any cards with you. But they started out with 150, right? But there's so many more Pokemon now. I've lost track of how many Pokemon there are. And it's getting ridiculous. They're running out of names for these Pokemon. For example, I learned about one the other day. It's called the HIV. HIV. Yeah. Apparently it's a real killer. Yeah. And if you think that's bad, just wait till it evolves to AIDS. Wow. Yeah, so I guess they're coming out with a whole new line of STD Pokemon. So that's kind of weird. Which really brings a whole new meaning to the phrase, gotta catch 'em all. You know what I mean? So there's that. But I'm still not convinced about the whole autism thing. And she's like, well, how about the fact that your phone's autocorrect is set to Portuguese because you're spending more time racking up points on Duolingo than making eye contact with other human beings? Okay. I do like languages. They're fun, right? So I speak Spanish fluently, learning the Portuguese on the Duolingo, and a little bit of Mandarin. So maybe that's another sign of autism. I don't know. Languages are fun. Anybody learn a language? Anybody trying to learn a language? Yeah, one person. Cool. Good. This one's for you back there. Thank you. Yeah, it's me and you right now. Nobody else. So everybody knows that, learning a new language, the most important thing is to learn the swear words first, right? Because you got to know what they're saying about you. And so I spent some time in Spain. I was living over there for a couple of years. And I learned that the most offensive thing you can say to somebody over there is, que me cago en tus muertos, which means, I poop on your dead people. Yeah, that's what that means. So what I want to know is, first of all, where are these dead people at, right? They're just piling up? What are we doing with them? And what makes them my dead people? And then why are you pooping on them? Aren't there laws against that? Well, we got another one, Sheriff Stanley. Defecation on the deceased. Oh no, that's the third one this week. That's a poop joke. So, yeah. So I was actually a missionary over in Spain for my church. The whole Mormon thing earlier it's true. I am Mormon. Yep. A Latter-day Saint. That's a real name. Mormon's just a nickname, I guess. But you don't care. So I'm going to continue on with this joke. So one cool thing about Spanish is that if you want to take a word and make it bigger, you can just add the letters O-N on the end of it, right? But it doesn't always work out. You got to be careful. So like you got a fish, pez. Pezón, well, that just means nipple, right? So you got to be careful. It doesn't always work out. So I was having, there was a missionary that I was working with, and he was always trying to talk to me in Spanish, even though we both spoke fluent English. Just super excited. Probably autistic like me, I don't know. And we were having dinner with some other missionaries. We were having chicken and rice, right? And he's looking at the plate across from him. He's really excited about it. He wants to tell this guy, like, how big he thinks his chicken is. So he said, Elder, usted tiene un gran pollón. And what he thought he was saying was, hey, you got a pretty big piece of chicken over there, and I think that's pretty neat. Yeah. But what he actually said was, hey, you got a really big fat, yeah, and I think that's pretty neat. Yeah. So, yeah, I mentioned I'm Mormon, right? We do all the Mormon things. It's pretty fun. I got my Book of Mormon right over here. It's another testament of Jesus Christ. That's the name of the book. That's actually not my Book of Mormon. That was a joke. So, I got married about 12 years ago, right? So some of you may be looking at me like, wow, what are you, like 13 when you got married? I'm like, no, I was actually 15, okay? I had to get emancipated to make it legal. Yeah. So naturally, I'm into cougars. My wife is actually here tonight. Yeah. I love her so much. I have to say that because of what I'm about to say. So, for some people, so there's a 6-year gap between us, and that can be really awkward for some people, but not for us. We knew each other 4 years before we got married, due to the fact that she was my babysitter. Yeah. Which works out great, right? Because she's already got my nap schedule down. She knows how I like my PB&Js. And my parents already approve of her, But there's downsides too, don't get me wrong. I have to ask for permission for any screen time. And then my parents still have to pay her for her time, so she'll even hang out with me. So I haven't paid her yet. It's at the end of the night, so yeah. She hates that joke. She was not my babysitter. Yeah, we met when I was like 20, 21, 22, something like that. Yeah. That doesn't matter. Just numbers. Yeah. Prime numbers, those are my favorite. Yeah. So 37 right now, it's a really good prime number. Next one is it 30? Nope, 41. Yep, so a couple more years for that one. It's going to be a good one. So I mentioned we are Mormon, right? I get a lot of weird questions sometimes. People ask me if I'm, about polygamy. And I'm not a polygamist myself, but my dad is. Yeah. I think it's confusing, having multiple parents. Why don't you try keeping it straight with 4 moms? Yeah. What do I call them all? What are their names? How about, Mama Bear, Mama Prime, Charlene, and Ghost Mom. Yeah, she was never there for me, so I just pretend like she doesn't exist. Yeah, more like Ghost Witch. Yeah, really don't like her. Wish Dad didn't marry her. I need a second. Okay, it's okay, man. It's in the past. All right. So my dad is actually not a polygamist. Yeah, I feel like I have to put that out there. Polygamy has not been a thing since 1896, so it's been a couple of years. But my dad, he has been married 4 separate times, so I guess he missed out on the polygamist training camp. So there's that. I mentioned we do all the Mormon things. We just did there was a Mormon funeral we went to the other day, which is pretty fun. It's a little dress up just for, I guess, the person that's dead. It was on my wife's side, so it wasn't really too big of a deal for me. It was her uncle that died, and we get over there. So death is really just like it's a selfish thing, when they die. You're there for them, but they're not there for you anymore, really. And this was the first time I was meeting this guy. Was at this funeral, so he's just laying there, just dead. And first impressions are everything, and he's just laying there, lazy, dead. So, you guys don't like the death stuff. You do. Okay, this next one is for you then. I'm gonna close on this one. Yeah. Anybody into music? Well, rock? Foo Fighters? Yeah. So, Foo Fighters, they're not really looking for a drummer anymore. I don't know if you know about that. They lost their drummer earlier last year. Super sad though, right? But I can't figure out what the saddest part about that is though. The fact that this guy died knowing that he was the second best drummer of that band. Or that Dave Grohl has now forced 2 of his band members into suicide. I don't know. So to be fair, though, it was not suicide. It was a drug overdose, right? But is that really Eddie Vedder? I mean, any better? Sorry, Eddie Vedder's not dead, but his music is, right? So there's that. They had a tribute concert for Taylor Hawkins a little while ago, but the band was just crying a lot. They were really sad because they're just trying to figure out who are we going to replace with our second best drummer. Yeah. They had his son was playing the drums. He was doing a great job, but the band was ignoring him, which I thought was offensive. But to be honest, he's really probably used to being ignored by his dad, right? Now that he's dead, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Am I beating a dead horse at this point? Yeah. All right. Well, that's my time. I am Matt Houston. Thank you.